you're a business owner getting swamped by manually adding invoice information to your accounting software, this video is for you because I will show you exactly how to automate the entire process. By the end of this video, all you will have to do is upload your invoice, and then AI Agent will extract the relevant information and add it directly inside of the accounting software you use, as well as a Google Sheet for your record. In this video, I will show you exactly how I map out the agent, how I connect it to different tools, the software I use, and how the AI Agent works in real life. If you're only interested in seeing how the agent actually works, skip to this timestamp right here. But if you want to see how to build it, let's get right into it. First, we need to start by mapping out the agent. And if you're new to AI agents, you need to know that an agent is composed by three core elements. Firstly, you have the model. This is essentially the intelligence layer that will power your AI agent. In our case, the model is going to be Claude, but it could have been a model from OpenAI, for example. Secondly, you have tools, which is essentially the capability that you're giving the agent to access and use different tools. If you use Google Sheets, for example, you don't want an agent to be static within a chat box. You want the agent to be working directly inside of the Google Sheet, creating rows, making adjustments, making maths, whatever it is. So with MCPs, you're able to have a layer that allows your agent to connect to a multitude of different tools. And then lastly, you have instructions. And instructions are essentially split into two. One is context, the memory you're going to give your agent, the step-by-step guide you're going to give your agent, any conversation history, maybe even a Claude.md file or any other .md files. And then you have loops. And a loop is essentially the agent's capability to just continue pushing forward until the task is done. So now that we've covered that, let's actually go into what we want our agent to do. I'm going to show you how I map it out right here. In this case, the process is going to start with me, with a human. And I'm going to be the one triggering the agent to take action. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give an invoice to my agent. So all of this starts with me essentially uploading an invoice to my agent. What the agent is then going to do is extract the data from that invoice. So in whatever format it is, the agent needs to be able to read that sheet, read that PDF, and extract the data from it. And then I want my agent to load the data into the accounting software that I'm using. And then lastly, this is a bit of an optional one. We can get maybe into a Google Sheet as well. This is not really compulsory and is honestly the easiest part, but I'm adding it to the flow. Now, I already know that I will be using Claude as my model for the agent to perform. And then I'm also going to be using Quickbooks. It could have been Xero, it could have been Zoho, it could have been any other software, but why not? We're going to go with Quickbooks because it's one of the popular ones. And all of this is going to be done inside of a platform called Talk to Me Data, which I actually built. And it's a platform that lets you build, deploy, and host your AI agents. Now that we know what an agent is, how we want our agent to behave, and what tools it needs access to, it's time for us to actually build it. And there's two ways to go about it. The first option is to build it directly inside of the Claude app. But I don't recommend you to do this. Why, you ask? Because Claude runs on 5-hour usage windows. So once you use a certain amount of tokens within that 5-hour window, Claude simply stops working. And so if you have an agent doing time-sensitive things like replying to customers, qualifying leads, it will simply stop working until the 5-hour window comes to a close. And if you're going to have an agent that behaves like this, you might as well just have a human in the loop because you're not going to be getting any of the benefits of having an AI agent. The other thing is, even if you increase the usage limits and you seem to be doing okay, you're going to have to restrict yourself from using Claude because you need to make sure you save all of your tokens for your AI agent. So that's obviously a drawback. And then the bigger picture is, chances are, once you start using an AI agent, you will want to onboard a second, a third, and a fourth one because they're incredibly powerful at automating a lot of your manual work. And if you decide to do this via Claude, your tokens are going to be burnt in a matter of minutes. So it's not really a sustainable solution going forward. And that's exactly why I'm going to introduce you on how to create this particular agent via Talk to Me Data. And by the way, if you like this type of content and you like my videos, make sure to go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I started these accounts literally a month ago and they were very deserted, but now they're actually picking up. So if you want daily AI tips and tricks, make sure to go follow me there and drop me a comment letting me know that you came from this YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it. Now going back to the regular schedule. Here on Talk to Me Data, you can see an overview of all of your agents, the latest actions that they've taken, and even the usage of each one of your agents on a monthly basis. And so you can control the whole agent stack in one place. In our case, all we have to do is to go here to this tab that says Request Agent. And here I'm going to describe the agent that I want to build. So in my case, Invoice Automations Agent. Then I'm going to go to Detailed Description and I'm going to say, I need an agent to automate my invoices so I can just take a picture, give it to the agent, and it will auto-populate it in my invoice management system. In my case, it's QuickBooks. And then I'm going to click Next. And here, I'm going to add the tools that I already use, because the point of this agent is to actually live inside of those tools. In this case, for me, it's QuickBooks. And then I'm going to say urgent, because I want it right now. I want it by tomorrow. And I'm going to submit request. And just like that, your agent will be submitted. And within a day or two, it will be live and ready to go. And if at this point you're thinking, oh, Naz, that's a little bit too easy. I expected you to actually show me how to build the agent from scratch. I can give you a really, really quick insight within 30 seconds. So in the backend, what I do is I give the agent an invoice and a description, and I then add a system prompt. Now, the system prompt is what's going to control the whole behavior of the agent. So I'm going to add it here. I may have to add some specific documents. I may have to add some specific information about where we want to save the data, about the structure of the invoices, etc. But of course, this is only a demo. And then here, I'm going to select which integrations the agent's going to have access to. So in this case, Google Sheets and QuickBooks. And then we can also give the agent the ability to perform on a scheduled basis. So if you say, tomorrow at 3 a.m., do a rundown of all of my invoices and send me a Slack message in the morning by 6 a.m. with my latest financial position. The agent can technically do that. We're not going to go into it right now, but if you do want to do it yourself, head to Talk to Me Data, click on Get Started and start your onboarding today. Now we already have the agent built. So let me show you what that actually looks like. As you can see right here, within my portal, I can see AI Invoice Agent. And right under it, I can see that it has 3 integrations. So Google Sheets, QuickBooks Invoice. And as you can see right here, I also have a Sandbox QuickBooks account, which is sitting right here. So we will be able to see if the agent is actually working or not. Now, I'm going to click on Run, and it's going to open my beautiful new agent. And here, what I want to do is I'm going to take a PDF invoice, which looks like this, and I'm going to upload it to my agent. And then what I'm going to say is add this invoice to my QuickBooks account. And the beautiful thing here is that the agent already has been given access to my account through the system prompt that I created. So I don't even need to say, oh, by the way, this is my account. That reduces a lot of friction. And as you can see right here, as soon as I send the message, the agent starts working and it starts extracting all of the information. This is not really necessary, but it's good to have visibility of what the agent is doing. Now, I'm going to go back to my QuickBooks account and I want to see if the agent actually worked. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to search for the invoice and I can find it right here. Now you can see the contact is client's company name, but that was actually the name of the client. So as you can see right here, it will have added it as a customer. It does have different line items that, as I'm going to show you quickly, they match exactly with what the invoice actually says. So that's 7 units, 300. You can see here 7 units, 300, then 8 units, 600, 8 units, 600. And then here's the final amount, 6,900, which matches with a subtotal, 6,900. So by simply uploading the PDF invoice to my agent, it was capable of extracting the information accurately and then uploading it into the software of my choice. This is really the power of a Talk to Me Data agent. And this is just one of the examples of a manual task that doesn't really have to be manual anymore, because an AI agent can take over it. If it was you adding the information manually every single day into your accounting software, you'd have to go line by line, putting all the information, making sure you didn't get any digit wrong, because that can obviously lead to fines and lead to bigger consequences down the line. And with AI, we can streamline all of that and we can make it so much simpler. So if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. Make sure to drop this video a like, subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be talking a lot about AI and automations. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.